Well, hello. Everybody doing all right this morning? Congressman Rogers, I never thought that I would be the second in line this quick. Can you believe it? I mean, it seems like yesterday that I got up here, I could tell you, up to D.C., and now I'm the second speaker. So, boy, that has gone very, very quickly. Gives you some indication about the accomplishment that our dean has had in being able to represent us for 30 years. That's quite remarkable, and he's done a wonderful job for the Commonwealth of Kentucky. I also want to say that I think we have an unusual situation in our delegation in Kentucky. We have 6 people in our House delegation, and in my opinion, we all get along beautifully. We all work very well together on behalf of the Commonwealth. You know, every now and then we might have a disagreement or two, but their disagreements are cordial, they're about policy, and when it comes to the interests of Kentucky, we're all determined to work very well together. And I say that about John Yarmouth, Congressman Rogers, Jeff Davis, Ed Whitfield, Brett Guthrie, the whole crew of our folks really just, I think, work very well together. I have a couple of things that are unusual in our delegation today. Of course, I think the first thing that's unusual is I look at some of the rest of the folks here. I think I'm the only Democrat who's here today. So that's kind of an unusual thing for Kentucky, because he was talking about Congressman Natcher and Congressman Perkins and so forth. A lot of our delegation used to be Democratic, and as you know, we've seen quite a difference over the years and a movement in the other direction. But the other thing about my background that's a little bit different is I believe I'm the only member of our delegation who actually lives on our own working family farm. And I can tell you I'm deeply proud of that. It is one of the things that informs my public service. And any of you who are on a family farm or who know people on a family farm, you know what I'm talking about. You know what the soil means to me. It's one of those things that I wouldn't give up for anything in the world. And you know how tough it is to run a family farm and make it these days. It would be the last thing that I'd give up. I'd declare bankruptcy before I lost the family farm. It's that kind of thing. And I just feel very, very grateful to have that background, to be living it, and hopefully to have the opportunity to pass it on to my kids. And I think there are other people in our farm community who very much feel the same way. And we need to work toward policies that will allow our people to do that very thing. It's extremely important. Now, Congressman Rogers talked about the debt and the deficit, and he is right on target. It is one of the great issues of our day. I must tell you that this is an issue that's been going on for a long time in this country, as you know, and it has gotten worse for a number of different reasons. It has been exacerbated in the last several years, and I could go into a laundry list of those reasons, but suffice it to say that it is a problem that we're going to have to get our arms around. We're going to have to solve it for the good of everybody who lives in our country. That Buffalo congressman does need to be wrestled to the ground. There's no question about it. And we're about the process of looking at doing that. I think it's a very healthy discussion to have, and we need to continue having it. That being said, one of the most important things that we can do as we go through this process of cutting this government is trying to do it in a fair and equitable manner, trying to do it in such a way that everybody feels the pain, not certain people primarily or inequitably. I think that is extremely important. And one thing that has concerned me about this process, and this is something that we need to be very careful about as we go forward, is I'm afraid that agriculture may get the brunt of some of these cuts. And we've got to be careful about that. The latest go-around, I think agriculture took a cut of an average of about 22%, and the rest of the discretionary part of government only got 10% cut. So this is something that we've got to watch, and I think that agricultural leaders need to be mindful of this, and they need to be concerned about it, because all of these programs affect our people on the farms, and more importantly to our country at large and our people, it affects the food supply and our ability to continue to have food security. There's nothing more important. We're seeing what's happening in the Middle East today. We're seeing lots of unrest in the Middle East, and you hear about all these political things, people wanting liberty and dictatorships and all this, but what is underlying all of that is food shortages in the Middle East. This is a tremendous problem throughout the world, and we're blessed in this country. The Lord has blessed us with a tremendously fertile country and a lot of hard-working people to make it bloom. And we've been lucky to have enough food to eat. And just the very fact that we can come in this room and have a heaping plate of food is an incredible blessing. We got to make sure we can continue to do that. We've got to make sure that we can continue to export our food throughout the world. And how we take care of our agriculture and our agriculture community is crucial to that. You all understand that? So when we're making these cuts, we've got to be careful about it, and we've got to make sure that we don't damage our efforts to make sure that our food supply is secure and that our farmers are taken care of. With that being said, there's one other thing I want to mention to you. One thing that I think really disturbs people is certain government regulations that they have to deal with. I see Marshall down here. He's laughing about that because every now and then some folks in the farm community have to deal with a little group called the EPA. And they'll put a regulation or two on you that might not be the most sensible thing in the world, you know, and it might cause you a little bit of difficulty. Well, I belong to a group called the Blue Dogs. That's a conservative group of Democrats up here. Not too many of us left. There are about 25 of us. But we are interested in sensible government. And I have been named the chairman of the Blue Dog Regulatory Task Force to oversee regulations. And one of the things we're going to be looking at is some of these regulations on our farm communities that are not sensible. We don't want to hurt regulations that are important to our consumers. None of us do. I don't think anybody in this room does. But what we want to do is find regulations that are burdensome to our farm communities and deal with those and really put it to those folks. So I talked to your all's leadership about this, and I think they're going to help me find an area or two that we can work on. They seem to think that wouldn't be any problem. I also want to take this opportunity to say that I have been blessed by a very good working relationship over the years with our senior senator, who, as you know, has served this state, I believe, as the longest serving senator in the history of the state, and done a lot of things over the years, and I've seen it with my own eyes for the people of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. And that is quite an accomplishment. And I just want to say that we're lucky in the Commonwealth of Kentucky to have some of the influential people that we have representing us in Washington. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I look forward to continuing to do what I can to help our people. And I look forward to seeing the folks in Central Kentucky in my office in a little while. And by the way, the other thing that a little bit unusual about me and our House membership, I'm the only member who's represented the entire state. And I got to represent the entire state for 12 years as state auditor and attorney general, and I miss seeing the rest of you guys. I like being with the folks in Central Kentucky, but I miss seeing the rest of the state. But you can be sure of this, every decision that I make is made with the entire state in mind. Thank you very much.